This is Frank Islam, Chairman and CEO of FY Investment Group and your host of Washington Current Review, where we interview leading voices from business and politics and explore the topics of current interest that impact you, the viewer. Today, our guest is Dr. Banik, Dr. Sambhu Banik. Dr. Banik is an internationally known clinical psychologist. He had been professor of psychology and counseling at Bowie State University. He will be discussing the topics of community services, as well as his book. And I love this book. Look at this book. I want to tell people in the audience, this is a great book, and everyone should go and buy one of these. In addition to this book, he's also a man who writes the books on Indian cuisine, which I love, and I share a common destiny with him on this. So these are the two books on Indian books as well. Thank you very much for coming to Seoul.
My pleasure, sir.
It is wonderful to see you. Now, tell me a little bit about your active involvement in community service. To me, community service is a noble cause. We should all give back to our community, to our country, to our nation, because we are blessed. So tell me what made you to be have an active involvement in the community.
Well, I learned it from my departed father, Padmalochan Banik. When we were growing up, we had shortage of water in the village we used to live. My father was the first one who built a well, and that served hundreds of people. And that made my father, our family, so well known in the community. Water is the spring of life.
Water is spring of the life. What a best way to describe it.
So from that moment on, I started feeling that I should give back something to the community. I also am a follower of Swami Vivekananda. He has so eloquently stated that to reach God is through the human beings. So I have been following this philosophy for a long period of time.
So that basically gave you the basic building blocks for you to get involved in the community. Your
Correct.
Upbringing in a small village in India. What are some of the pros and cons of community activities, rewards versus financial sacrifice?
Well, when you get involved in the community, you have to be prepared to have lots of sacrifices. There is no financial incentives. You have to pay on your own. And also, the time. There are people in this world who have utilized those time to build homes, build bank accounts, build yachts, made millions of dollars. I, on the other hand, felt that by giving something, the country has been great to me.
Yes, we are been blessed.
I feel that America is a land of opportunity. Any individual who is honest, sincere, hardworking, well-motivated, and no skeleton in the closet can accomplish anything. And I have found, although it does not have any financial reward, but it gives you something. I have never aspired for an award. But if you do come, I want to invite you to come. Now you talked about my cooking. I want to invite you and your wife to come have a beautiful home-cooked dinner.
Oh, I'd love to have that. And I'm sure this is all for you guys, too, in the audience.
Absolutely,
Go have some delicious Indian cuisine with Dr. Banik.
So, I have been awarded from national, international organizations, even without my knowledge, for the contributions. Even at one point, I sacrificed my life to go to Bhopal, the worst man-made disaster in the world.
I know. That's a wonderful thing to do. Tell me your first-hand experience of Bhopal gas tragedy.
When I saw Mother Teresa, she is one of my mentors. She is a great source of inspiration for me. She has gone to Bhopal to see the victims. Thousands of people are dying or dead. I contacted the government of India And I'm so proud to tell to the viewers that I was the only Indian American ever given permission by the Prime Minister of India to go to Bhopal and help those victims. Especially in India at that time, there was no mental health provisions in the hospitals.
And your background served very well.
Right. And I worked 17, 18, 19 hours a day, working with the doctors, working with all the people who are helping those victims. And I learned a lot from that experiences. Now, I mentioned sacrificing my life. When I returned, all the televisions from NBC, CBS, CNN, all are waiting at Dallas airport to interview me because I was the only one who had the first experience. But I was rushed to Holy Cross Hospital in an ambulance. I was having high temperature.
Wow.
So I developed pneumonia from that experiences there. No?
Wow.
But still I went back. I had been to Bhopal 19 times. I have followed up.
19 times.
And my contribution has been documented all over the world. In every newspaper, every television, they have shown what conclusion I have generated from my studies and from my interviews, from my contact with the families and people around Bhopal and surrounding areas. So that is, and because of that, I got Mother Teresa International Award for my work in Bhopal. And the mayor of the District of Columbia also recognized me. The Congress of the United States also recognized me because of my work in Bhopal.
Because of your service
to Bhopal.
To the cause of humanity.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Please tell our viewers about your serving a lot of boards and commissions you serve. Tell me a little bit about that.
Thank you for asking me. Presently, I am the perhaps only Indian American in this country who serves 2 human rights commissions. One is the state of Maryland. I was appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Maryland Senate, and I was appointed by the county executive.
County executive, which county executive are you talking about?
Montgomery County.
Yeah.
Ike Leggett.
Yes.
Twice. So I'm serving 2 human rights commissions, and that has been wonderful experience. Besides, I was also appointed to serve 2 terms as the commissions on disability.
On disability.
In addition to that, President George W. Bush appointed me as a member, a presidential member of the President's Committee on People with Intellectual Disabilities. I'm still serving till May of this year.
So your term has not expired so far?
No, not yet. So, plus I'm involved in many other, in the nation's capital, any association they see, I have left some marks. I have worked with them. I have become president, vice president, or secretary, treasurer, you name it. Because to me, in my blood, what I learned from my father, son, one day we all have to go, but you can leave something behind. And that is exactly what I practice.
So you're more interested in your memory and legacy?
Yes. Well, everybody has to leave something behind. And I think that each and every individual has tremendous potentiality to show to the world that we all have got the ability to change the lives of others. That's one aspect.
So you can make a difference.
I have made a difference. Also, to follow the same line of questionings, I'm also a professor at the university, as I mentioned before.
Yeah, Bowie State University.
I've been teaching there for 36.5 years.
Wow.
Graduate school. I have trained, educated hundreds of students, and many of them have reached much higher level than me. That is a tremendous feelings of goodness in me, that at least that's the biggest investment. Although I do not have money in the bank, but I have those youngsters. They are contributing to the society. That is my biggest investment. I feel sometimes I'm a billionaire.
Yes, yes.
With regard to the contribution I made to the students.
That is a source of comfort, pride, and joy.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Mother Teresa about 2 minutes ago. You met Mother Teresa on a number of occasions. Please tell us, our viewer, your experience and how did she influence your life?
Well, I bought a copy of my article first, that when I came from Canada,
Came from Canada
to
United States.
Washington here in 1971.
Okay.
I was made in charge of a Glendale Hospital mental health program, and working with handicapped people, first time, I was getting despondent. I was feeling that nothing is being achieved. Within 6 months, there was an event in Kennedy Center where Senator Ted Kennedy, who passed away, honored Mother Teresa for her work in Calcutta.
In culture.
I met her, and first time I met her in 1972, beginning, and I tell her that this is my situation. He told me, son, God will be with you. She put her hand on my forehead. From that time on, my whole outlook was changed.
So you were touched by her grace.
Absolutely, and she, knowing that I speak Bengali because she was wearing a blue sari, there, she became much more closer to me, and she told me that all are God's children, and I think that you will do well, and keep me informed. So after a few months, I went to Calcutta. I met her.
And this was, when was this?
1973-74.
Okay.
So long time I had a association with her, and so she was a tremendous source of inspiration. I feel that she was a saint.
She was a saint.
Yeah, to me, she will always be a saint.
She sacrificed her life.
Yeah,
For the children and for the cause that she believed in it.
Absolutely, and I don't think that she deserved the Nobel Peace Prize better than anybody else that I could think of, because she really showed that how one person can make a lot of difference.
And she did make a difference.
Yeah, in the lives of millions of people.
She was compassionate.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about teaching students for 37 and a half years, and so what advice, a suggestion would you give it to the younger generation? Because those younger generations are the hopes of tomorrow.
Of course.
They will carry on when you and I are gone from this world.
And exactly
our destiny is in their hand.
You are so right, Mr. Islam. I will tell you that. I'm glad you asked that question. And that is because of this reason that I teach on the weekends. I have a clinic. I practice Monday till Friday called Family Diagnostic and Therapeutic Center in nation's capital. And weekend I teach graduate school. Why I do? Because I want to make a difference. If I can inculcate into them about the services, because most of my job is to help them to become better counselors, better psychologists, better social worker to help people. So that, you are so right, they are the future of our society. So if I can make them to understand, if I can, from my own experiences, I can teach them that if I can reach this stage. I will give you one beautiful example about that, how I got appointed in the White House. When I was first interviewed in 1989, I was the first Indian American appointed by President Bush to become the executive director of the President's Committee on Mental Retardation.
Mental retardation.
Yeah, on that tab. That I served for 3 years in that capacity. So during the interview in the White House, they asked me that, what strength do you bring? I said, accent. Oh, they were all startled. Accent. So I tell them that, do you know there is a product called Accent is available in the market that is used to tenderize meat.
Oh.
I will use my accent to tenderize the heart and souls of people I'll be meeting.
Wow.
Who can refuse the position, you tell me on that?
I don't think I would have refused to appoint you to that such a prestigious
So
job.
I even tell the Henry Kissinger, with his accent, become Secretary of State. If I would have been born, I would have been the President of the University of America.
And that's a wonderful thing to do. I know we talked about, at the beginning of our show, about this book, which is a book that tells your story, the story from your past, the story of your upbringing, and the story of your journey. Tell me, our viewer, when you published this memoir, and what are the characteristics, and what are the important elements of this book is?
Well, the title of the book called Born Ordinary, Lived Extraordinary.
Yes. What a
I
wonderful
wanted to-
title.
Thank you. What I wanted to share with my friends, colleagues, whoever buys this book, or whoever had the opportunity, like you will be getting a copy from me, autographed copy.
Thank you
because
very
you're
much.
here.
Thank you.
So also Mrs. Nilima Mehra, whom I admire a lot.
Yes.
She is one of
she's
the
a-
outstanding television hostess in the nation's capital. One day I told her you will be Barbara Walters.
You're Barbara Walters.
Yeah, so,
Well, she will be better than Barbara Walters.
well, might be, you are right, okay. So the reason a person who is ordinary can aspire to be extraordinary. You do not have to have lots of money to achieve in life. I want to show to the lots of people that if you are hardworking, dedicated, you have a goal, healthy goal, and you work with people, with determination, you can achieve anything in life. And also one more thing that I shared is that life is very short
Yes. We have very short time on this planet.
on planet. We have to leave something behind. Another thing I talked about, I never criticize anybody in my life. To me, Indians have done tremendous job in this country, but we had been lagging behind in that particular arena. But I'm so proud to say that younger generation have come a long way. They are playing a very important, vital roles. So many Indians have been appointed by Obama administration.
Yes.
Obama has appointed some very, very bright people. Rajiv Shah, younger man,
Yes.
who will be heading USAID. When I'm talking about USAID, let me also share with the viewers that I have been appointed to provide consultation to USAID of this year, June, to evaluate the performance of the people there, as I did in the State Department for many years. So I am very much actively involved in the community, otherwise also, accepting boards and commissions.
Yes.
So political involvement is very important. We want to see one day, I hope in my lifetime, including you, my
Yes,
dear friend.
thank you,
You are
thank you.
politically very active. You are very popular. Might be one day we want to see Frank Islam become our first congressman.
Oh, thank you very, very much. I don't know whether I want to be politicians or not. I'm really glad that you poured your heart and you were able to share some of your views and your thoughts with the audience. And I love Indian cuisine. My wife is an American, but both of us share a wonderful taste of Indian cuisine. And I know you wrote this book, and I want audience to have this book so that they can taste the Indian food, Indian cuisine. I know Dr. Banik asked me to come to his house, and I will definitely not turn him down. Thank you very, very much.
It is my pleasure and my privilege to be with you, sir.
Thank you very, very much. That is our show. Until the next time, this is Frank Islam. Thank you for watching and wishing you a great week.